So next question, take care of the APAC, right?
Yep.
How do you lead the team? How do you work with international team members and also clients from Japan? What's the challenges you see and how did you overcome them?
So for the APAC region, as we know, there's a lot of cultures in this part of the world. When it comes down to the more south of Asia, in Malaysia or Indonesia, those are more dominant Muslim-based as well clients. And then of course Philippines, there'll be more Christian-related clients. And then also it comes to working culture. Like in Japan, there's of course giving meshi, always in a suit. But in certain countries, a bit more relaxed. Let's put it that way as well. So it depends how you portray yourself in the meeting as well, and also respecting people's culture when you're in their country, the way you speak to them, and also having good understanding about their company brand as well and what they're doing, their initiatives they're doing in Asia Pacific or globally across Southeast Asia. So I have calls with my team every week, sometimes bi-weekly as well, and then just trying to hammer out which regions are potential business for the New York Times as well, and for us to expand as well. Some region might not be the best regions for us, but most regions we're able to put a footprint there and expand our brand there.
So you said started with Meishi, the business card, right? And this is what I addressed in the previous video. How to, right? It's not like I'll take this. No, you can't.
And then you have to look at it properly, stare at it. Sometimes it's just a name and a title, but it's just a respect, which I really respect this. I think it's an amazing thing. And it's also, for example, when you go into a meeting in Japan, for example, I don't think I can walk in with a cup of coffee. Certain markets, they're more relaxed, but in Japan, it's definitely not a good thing. For example, in Hong Kong, me and my teammate, we will usually go and buy coffee and then go meet the client and here's some coffee. Maybe it depends how close you are with Japanese clients, but I think that could work sometimes as well. It depends,
Especially if it's when it's first time, right? I don't bring coffee.
No. But even the second time, you feel a bit strange. But there's their perks as well. Their perks and uniqueness, of course, of working in Japanese environment.
So what's the business etiquette here, or what's your experience about cultural difference at work? Can you name one?
I would say Japanese people are very detailed oriented, very, which is very good. People have to be detail oriented when it comes to media plans. You don't want to miss a date. Even when we produce content, we don't want to write the wrong content. But they are extra detailed, so which is very good, and also putting us on our edge to be like, hey, we gotta also be extra detailed as well. That's one thing I come across mainly. There's other stuff maybe offline we can discuss.
Okay, you cannot fully understand that unless you actually experience super detail oriented, but like how? For example, this is a timeline. Here's what to do. Like kill one by one, boom, 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 and then I've done this. I'm gonna work on this one next. Super detailed. That can be stressful sometimes. What I take care of on my end, so my partners outside Japan don't have to worry about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And it's also, I feel like, yes, its detail is good, but sometimes it's like triple checking. It will affect the efficiency in terms of the workflow, I feel like sometimes. Other countries I work with are very detailed as well, but I feel like, I think the approval process doesn't need to be 15 stages above, already approve it and then let's move on, and then a smoother way. But I guess, again, it's the system here as well sometimes.
The process is usually longer. Then I think what I can add on to that is that many employees not to make mistakes, and also in the Japanese education, all the systems, the answers, and then you start your score from 100, and then the more mistakes you make, the lower scores you get. There's no additional point like in the US, like A+.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you can only go down, and then your mind says, I should not fail. I should not make mistakes. Do not go further. That's the mindset. And then approval process is, I also experienced. You are here in the meeting, one-on-one meeting. You are representing your company, right? Sometimes you can decide, but you should have at least some authority. Otherwise, what's the point of this meeting?
Exactly.
Right? But in Japan, oh no, I'm too busy. Okay, you go. What are they for? That happens quite a lot. And then what they do, is let's say you're a junior, 25 years old, for example, like 3-year experience, you can't judge. Oh, okay, sounds good. And then you go back, then report to your manager, and like, what the heck are you talking about? Then you have to say, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then counterpart, why did you say nice things about it. You could have just told me straightforward, then we could have, fixed it, save some time. You have experienced that, right? Like
a lot of times. It's like the experience I was telling you, going into a meeting where there's 12, 13 people, but when you ask them a question, everybody's quiet. So much brains, all your knowledge here. Give me at least a little bit for me to, to provide more information, the right information for you. So it happens sometimes, these cases.
Yes. How do you avoid that kind of situation?
Just keep asking. No, I mean, like eventually you kind of get the signal, sometimes to be honest, although my job is pitching, I mean, like I said, I've been pitching for 16, 17 years, but the thing is, what happens, not so much now, but before, there are cases when you go there, the client is just not showing interest. And sometimes you just need to know when to, okay, hey, thank you so much for your time, I don't need to beg you for, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Whatever I'm going to say, you're just not ready for it. Maybe in the future.
Right. Have you ever used your gaijin card? So for those who don't know what gaijin is a foreigner in Japanese, but outsider. Have you ever?
I use my Hafu card a lot. Not much actually. Surprisingly, I've been quite lucky. I've heard that it could be negative for certain gaikokujin.
Yes.
And then it's also positive for certain gaikokujin as well. But I was lucky so far. I haven't really need to use it. It's been beneficial for me. I've been lucky.
I see. I use it. Like I'm not a gaijin. I'm an outsider, but I study abroad and I speak English. I don't behave in Japanese. Yep. That kind of allows me to make some excuses.
Yeah, I used to use that a lot when I was younger in Hong Kong because that was quite. You have the gaijin card in Hong Kong before.
Interesting. Okay, man. I also wanted to ask you about case studies, some media strategies or some media campaigns, a little more detail about your day-to-day work. What kind of media campaigns ever worked and what campaigns did not work here?
I would say the ones that worked a lot is, for example, we're working with Suntory Holdings to promote, last year we were promoting House of Suntory, and then this year we're working with, it was a very good campaign. That's why they came back working with us. It was a custom content campaign to promote Suntory whiskey brand, excellent of craftsmanship of Suntory whiskey, the behind how they make the whiskey, the type of water they use. So it's very good. We also had a chance to also interview CEO Ninami-san as well, face to face. I met him as well. He's a lovely man. He has a lot of vision. He is one of the CEOs I've met in Japan that I have a lot of respect for because he's quite Western. He's very Japanese. He's Nihonjin, of course, but his mind is quite global. So the stuff he talks about, even the sustainability side of things he's doing for Suntory Holdings is amazing. So now they're working with us again. We also invited them to attend some of our events in New York as well. We have a climate week that we do at New York in September next month. So we invited Suntory Holdings to attend that as well. So these are type of clients that respect the New York Times brand. We respect our partners a lot. We're very honored to be working with Suntory Holdings, and this is the things we're doing with them. And then I would say another big brand that we work very closely with is Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko has been expanding rapidly in America and also Europe. And we've been again, I met with the chairman, the CEO, and a lovely person, had lunch with him actually, and then showed me around the Ginza's Grand Seiko clock tower. So it's a very cool place. Very nice area to propose to anyone's not planning to propose, but a great area. Suge, I saw it. Nice.
Grand Seiko, white birch.
Is that the one that Shohei Ohtani is wearing?
Yes.
Really? Oh, wow.
Of course. Yeah, this is a beautiful timepiece made in Japan.
Very good, yeah. I think all Japanese, when they make it, should get a GS as well, Grand Seiko for sure. But in terms of bad campaigns, not much. I mean, there are hiccups here and there. I don't want to mention too much names, but there are campaigns that it does get quite annoying when the client does come to you, or I wouldn't say annoying, but it's just they would want to do a lot of things, very little budget. It's some of these times it's a bit difficult, and the demand is quite high. Certain budget level campaigns like the lower tier ones, but also requesting a lot. So sometimes it's really either they don't know international advertising or they're just with their marketing strategies.
So I think all the companies have been through that phases, right? You start from nothing. Everyone starts from nothing. Usually, what's the revenue size New York Times work with? There's no criteria, but usually, what's the average?
would say normally minimum ad size is around for us like whatever 50K, and the minimum 50K USD, and then it goes up to 1.5 million US upwards.
Wow.
Yeah, 50K-ish would probably be a minimum spend.
But yeah, New York Times, top tier media, so why not?
We're working with corporations and also like a lot of governments as well, and they have deep pockets as well, and they're focused mainly US and Europe, so we get a lot of opportunities to work with them.
Makes sense. Before ending this, is there anything you want to share about your, let's say, hiring or your service or anything?
For your listeners, if you ever want to advertise or want to really have your brand globalized have your brand message out into the US audience or global audience, happy, give us a ring. I'm sure Kazu will drop my details there. Happy to assist you or even meet you and kind of brainstorm some strategy, advertising, marketing ideas for your brand if you need any help there in that front. And also always looking forward to seeing Kazu and hopefully come back on his channel again next time about the other content.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe and like button. See you in the next video. Sayonara.
Thank you very much.